We the elderly often think that happiness is seeing our children and grandchildren live a prosperous life. But after turning 70, I finally realized that sometimes true happiness actually begins with the word no. Sounds a bit backward, right? All our lives we live for our children, worry about our grandchildren, and sometimes even forget about ourselves. But at a certain age, when our energy starts to fade and our hearts grow weary from all the silent sacrifices, we begin to understand. Living a peaceful life in old age does not mean giving endlessly, but learning to keep a little something for ourselves, a bit of time, a bit of health, and a bit of inner peace. Not every no is selfish. Sometimes it is exactly what we need to protect our dignity, our peace of mind, and the self-respect we've earned over a lifetime. Many parents, as they grow older, are afraid to say no to their children. They fear being seen as cold-hearted, fear upsetting them, fear being left alone. But that fear, in fact, makes us more likely to become victims of our own blind love. And if we do not learn how to say no at the right time, the one who ends up losing the most is us. In today's video, I want to share with you the 3 most important things that elderly people must firmly say no to if they want to live a peaceful and fulfilling life. Before we begin, leave a comment below with a positive affirmation like, "I deserve a peaceful and joyful old age," or share any wish that's on your mind. And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, so you will not miss any of the meaningful content that can help make your later years happier every single day. Let us create a space filled with positive energy where we can grow and live peacefully together on this journey of life. So, what exactly should older people have the courage to say no to in order to protect themselves? Here are 3 common requests from our children that we need to learn to decline lovingly but firmly. Number 1. Saying no to selling your house and moving in with your children. I once knew an elderly man named Richard. He lived in a small wooden house in the suburbs of Oregon, the same place where he and his late wife had raised their 3 children. His wife had passed away over a decade ago, and their children had all grown up and moved out to start their own lives. One day, his youngest daughter suggested, "Dad, you should sell the house and move in with us. It would be more fun, and that place is too big for just one person." It sounded reasonable. But Richard, a quiet and gentle man, stayed silent for a long while before gently replying, "Thank you, sweetheart. But I think this is my home. I do not want to leave it." That response has stayed with me ever since. To elderly people, a house is not just a place to live. It is a place to return to, a keeper of memories, of familiar sense of footsteps that echo through time. The walls may peel, the roof may leak, but every brick is soaked in love and attachment. It is the one place where the elderly still feel like the owner, where they can still live the way they want, from choosing which picture to hang on the wall to growing wildflowers in a garden corner. Moving in with your children might sound like closeness, like easier care, but in reality, it often silently leads to countless conflicts. Generational differences in lifestyle, parenting, even daily habits can make older people feel like they are just extras in their own children's homes. I have heard so many stories like, "Mum, that way is outdated. Now do not do it like that." Or, "Dad, please do not teach the kids the old-fashioned way, it is confusing." Not to mention, once you move in together, everything becomes shared, from the chair you sit in to the meals you eat, even your quiet space. Slowly, you lose your independence both physically and emotionally. And the scariest part is this: you begin to feel hesitant around your children and grandchildren. You hesitate to speak up when something feels uncomfortable. Before you know it, you shrink into a quiet corner of the house, living like a shadow in your own children's lives. In the United States, we have a concept called the empty nest. It refers to the home that feels empty after the children have grown up and moved out. But instead of seeing it as sadness, many people see it as a chance to live more truthfully. They reorganize their lives, discover new hobbies, make new friends, and most importantly, rediscover the freedom they once gave up for parenthood. Not every elderly person has the health or financial means to live alone. But if you can, keeping your home, no matter how small or old, is like keeping a solid chair for your soul. A chair not just to sit in, but to lean on when life feels unsteady. A place where you still get to be yourself, still have the right to make choices, to be silent, and to rest fully. Saying no to moving in with your children is not rejecting family. It is about preserving just enough space so love does not get worn down by daily friction. It is so that each visit becomes something to look forward to, not something to dread. So that your remaining years, however many are left, are truly lived as your golden years. Number 2, saying no to taking care of grandchildren full time. I once met a woman named Susan, a small elderly lady in her 70s who always seemed to be in a rush. Every morning she woke up at 6 o'clock, made breakfast for her son's entire family, took her grandchild to school, came home to do laundry and cleaning, then picked the child up in the afternoon, fed them, bathed them, put them to sleep. She told me, "It feels like I'm raising a kid all over again, but now my energy is nothing like before." I asked her, "So, are you happy?" She smiled, but her eyes looked distant. There is some happiness, but it is exhausting. And I do not want to say anything because I worry my daughter-in-law might feel bad. That is how many grandparents feel today. Who does not love their grandkids? Who would not want to help their children when they are busy building their careers? But when that love turns into a daily responsibility stretched over time, it is no longer helping. It becomes a trade-off. In American culture, there is a very clear perspective. Parents raise the children, grandparents love the grandchildren. These are two very different roles and should not be confused. For a child to grow up healthy, physically and emotionally, they need to be raised directly by their own parents. When grandparents take over that role completely, what happens? First, the roles get blurred. Grandparents are no longer the warm and loving haven. They become disciplinarians and are often unfairly blamed when the child misbehaves. Second, silent exhaustion builds up. Energy in old age is limited. A single day at the park can bring joy, but 7 days a week, 30 days a month, that is a burden. Studies have shown that full-time caregiving grandparents have higher stress levels, are more prone to chronic illnesses, and have a higher risk of depression than others. Third parenting approaches start to clash. Old school thinking versus modern parenting can create friction. Children may feel annoyed when their parents use outdated methods, while grandparents feel hurt for being dismissed. Cracks start to form from there. And on a deeper level, there is a quiet loss, the loss of your right to rest. Old age is supposed to be the time to take leisurely morning walks, join a meditation class, finish a book you have left unfinished for years. It is the time to sit by the window, sip tea, and reflect on life. But many have missed out on those things, pulled into the fast pace of being full-time grandparents, all because they never dared to say no. In truth, saying no is not about being cold or unloving. We can still help care for our grandchildren, but within healthy limits. One afternoon of play can be more meaningful than a whole week of caregiving done with tired eyes. One school pickup with a smile can be more valuable than a month full of heavy sighs. Many elderly people in the United States choose a part-time lifestyle, occasionally babysitting, occasionally traveling, practicing yoga painting, or joining community groups. They understand that protecting their mental and physical well-being is the greatest gift they can give their children and grandchildren, a joyful, healthy grandparent who will not become a burden later. So if your children ask you to watch the grandkids full-time, do not rush to say yes just because your heart aches for them. Ask yourself first, do I truly have the strength? Am I trading away my remaining years for a role that should have ended long ago? Love sometimes needs to come with limits. Because only by keeping apart for ourselves can we continue to give without running dry. Number 3. saying no to giving your children too much money. There are kinds of love that are quiet and deep, but sometimes they go too far. A parent's love, especially in old age, is often shown by giving until there is nothing left for themselves. Many elderly people continue to help their children financially, paying off debt, buying cars, contributing to home purchases, even using retirement savings to cover their grandchildren's education. They think, I can live simply as long as my kids have a better future. But how many stop to ask, what if I need money someday? The truth is, once your children are grown, giving them financial support is no longer your duty, it is a choice, and it must be a wise one. Because giving too much can take away their sense of independence, kill their motivation to strive. Over time, instead of figuring things out on their own, they will always look to you, not realizing that their safety net is wearing thin with age. No one can carry someone else's life forever, especially not in old age. Whether it is a little or a lot, your money in retirement should be used to care for your health, your living, and your independence in your twilight years. It is what allows you to choose a better bed when you are sick, a nutritious meal when you are tired, or a peaceful care home when the time comes. If you give it all away, who will you rely on when you need it? I once knew a father who used his entire savings to help his son open a business. He never asked for it back, never complained, and quietly went back to living on a small pension. Only when he fell ill and could not afford surgery did he quietly whisper, I should have kept a part for myself. That statement was not about regret over money. It was the realization that love should not be a complete sacrifice, especially when you no longer have the strength to start over. We can help our children when they truly need it. But that help must have limits. A small financial gift, timely advice, emotional support. These can be far more valuable than giving away everything you have. Old age should be a time of peace, not financial worry, not feeling embarrassed to ask your children for money. It is a time to protect a bit of independence so you can live as an elderly person, with dignity, with choices, and without becoming a burden, even to your loved ones. So if you ever feel awkward about saying no to your children when it comes to money, remember this: true love is not in how much you give, but in how you teach your children to grow through your firmness and clarity. Besides learning to say no at the right time, we elderly folks must also learn to protect what truly matters, so we can live not just safely, but peacefully in our later years. Here are 5 simple principles that can completely transform your life. The first thing to protect is your emotions. At this age, happiness is no longer about money or fame. It is about the people who stay beside you. Cherish your spouse, the one who has walked with you through ups and downs, who stayed when everything else changed. Do not hold back kind words or small gestures. Love between husband and wife in old age is quiet but sacred. Sometimes just a caring look can warm the whole day. Also, treasure your old friends, those who understand you without words, who can read you through a sigh. A morning coffee or a heartfelt phone call can mean more than any medicine. And remember to keep a respectful distance from your children. Love them deeply, but let them live their lives. When you know when to step back, they grow and you find peace. Next, protect your health, something everyone knows, but not all practice. In youth, health feels endless. But after 60 or 70, every steady breath, every strong step is a gift. Move often, just enough. Take walks, do light tai chi, tend to your garden. Eat simply and nutritiously. Avoid too much sugar, salt, and oil, because every meal either gives to your life or takes from it. Keep your mind clear. A calm mindset helps you live not just longer, but better. Then protect your state of mind. Life is no longer a race. The wins and losses, praise and blame, they are just old stories. Let go of past burdens, old grudges, and worn-out ambitions. When your heart is light, the sky feels bluer. When your mind is still, everything becomes more pleasant. Enjoy now a sunny morning, a warm cup of tea, your favorite song. True joy hides in simple things. Once your emotions, health and mind are in order, protect your money. Do not think you no longer need it. Now more than ever, financial readiness matters, so you are not a burden, so you stay independent, so you choose your care. Keep savings for yourself. Do not give it all away, not even to loved ones. Only when you can take care of yourself will others truly respect you. Money is not happiness, but it protects it. And finally, protect your dignity. Aging is not about giving up, but about living with grace. Respect yourself in how you speak, dress, and even in silence. Do not lower yourself to please your children. Do not accept disrespect just because you are old now. Age is not a reason to be ignored, it is a reason to be heard. Live with dignity and you will inspire. Respect yourself and others will learn to do the same. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is how you preserve life's beauty to fully live this final chapter. We have come so far, given so much. Now is the time to return home, to love yourself deeply and wisely. Because old age is not a sad ending. It is a new chapter where every day can be a gift if you know how to protect what truly matters. Old age is a special journey, not loud, not rushed, but full of life's most profound lessons. It is a time when you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to live in a way that feels light, joyful, and complete. If you have spent your whole life living for others, then now is the time to start living for yourself. Do not be afraid to say no to things that wear you down. Do not sacrifice yourself so much that nothing is left. And do not let anyone treat you as less just because you are older. Peace in old age does not come from being pampered. It comes from knowing your worth and refusing to trade it for anything. We deserve a retirement that is free, dignified, and filled with love. But it begins with the choices we make today. If this video has spoken to you in any way, leave a comment as a promise to yourself, something like, "I will keep what is best for my golden years," or simply, "I choose to live freely and peacefully." And do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to receive meaningful and inspiring content for a strong, fulfilling, and peaceful journey through old age.